Welcome to the break. Today's video, guys, is going to be strictly about a YouTube response for a deck profile done for Six Samurais by a YouTuber named Tribel, otherwise known as Tricorp. Feel free to go ahead and look him up on YouTube. He's got his own channel, and I'm sure that we're going to be doing a lot of collaborative videos with him in the future. He's also going to be associated with the Break Duelist Facebook page, so feel free to check into there to share, like, subscribe, and so forth and so on. Without further ado, we're going to jump straight into his deck profile for the Six Samurais, and we're going to be providing a little bit of positive and negative criticism to his deck profile as to what he could do better, what could be changed, or what we do like about the deck profile. And feel free to say what you feel, think, and believe in the comment section below. Without further ado, here's Tribel.
Hello YouTube, my name is Trey and I'm coming at you today with my main deck profile. I've been playing Six Samurais ever since they came out, maining, of course, maining 3 of him and 3 Grandmasters. Now you got all this new stuff, all the synchros and exceeds, and of course the new Link monsters. I
do want to go ahead and jump in and interject really quick. The synchros have been around for quite some time, as well as the XEs era. The Link era is what we're currently in, is the most recent for the extra decks. So I think maybe this may be a little behind the times as far as talking about that. I do want to give a quick shout out that when we were actually trying to find Tribel initially, we actually found that it was something along the line of Taco Bell Death. It was just a weird transition trying to find the guy, but aside from that, we do want to make sure that future videos don't vertically film. Please make sure they're sideways.
have Sarayuja, Orlo Dragon, or Linkuriboh, so keep that in mind when I go to my extra deck. It's my main deck that is unstoppable. Like, this is just, it creates so many chains. It's unbreakable, it's beatable, it's the best Six Samurai deck out there.
Alright, so he just said that it was unbeatable, unbreakable, and then is the best Six Samurai deck out there. But then he contradicts himself and he says that it is beatable. So I'm really confused here. Which one is it? Take one side, stick with it. This isn't about bashing Tribel. Like I said, we were going to be showing both sides. But just for future references, make sure you stick with what it is that you're going for.
So, of course, we got one. I like to tell you how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Great Shogun Shien. Your opponent can only activate one spell or trap card per turn, of course, and you can special summon him for free!
Yes!
And, of course, I play 2 Grandmasters. Like, I always link my Grandmaster off, so it's nice to play 2. Alright,
so in response to his double Grandmaster play, I think that that's kind of unique to be able to see somebody playing more than one. It's not something that you see very commonly, and the fact that he is integrating that into the new Link summoning mechanic, that is actually very smart to be able to have just a free material because you can special summon them. So big props for that, Tribel. That's absolutely amazing. I think that you're going in the right direction as far as like thinking, ahead of time, get a free special summon, have an extra monster on board to get that Link monster out. Beautifully done.
Kizaru's okay, you can get a Six Samurai monster to your hand. If you special summon him, it's great to open up with Kageki and Kizaru, or it's great to open up with Kageki or Kizaru, or you really can't. It's not a target for asceticism. That's why you gotta. That's why I played in that one.
Alright, and in response to the anti-asceticism target, that's actually incorrect. Anti-asceticism targets any one Six Samurai monster that has the same attack from your main deck to special summon it to the field. Now, you can run more than a single copy and be able to use that target because it says of the same attack. It does not specify that you cannot use of the same attribute or the same typing. Now, a lot of times when you use this, you do want to make sure that it's not of the exact same name frame, which is why you would have to play cards like Card Change, or you could even use something along the lines of Gotham's Call, which will allow you to treat one monster as another monster's listed name till the end of the turn. So this is doable still, but it costs you one extra deck space, which in the grand scheme of things, if you're playing a 40 card build, really isn't going to hurt you that bad.
Of course, I run triple Keyzon.
Okay, before we go forward, it's not Keyzon, it is Kaizen. I understand the mispronunciation, nothing wrong with that. You know, we all pronounce things differently, but it is Kaizen for those of you that need to know. And the
Staple,
Litwater.
beast mode. Keyzon goes beast mode. Staple, must have.
Wow.
And then, of course, the new Monster Reborn of the deck, and turns out to be my new favorite six samurai, Hatsume. Very good.
Play that at 2.
I play one red and one blue. It's Invoker, you know, it's hard not to. Plus, going on further in the deck, you will see why Invoker is really, really good to have, because it gets a level 4 Earth monster out, which I play Nat Beast in my extra deck. No spells. I play 2 Kadegi. That boy good.
That boy is good. And I do want to go ahead and comment and let you guys know Naturia Beast is absolutely amazing for 6 Samurais. I wish we would have been able to include it for the Break Duelist deck profile. Unfortunately, we just didn't have a copy. So big shout outs to you for Tribel for having the Nat Beast to be able to showcase in this deck profile.
I've been thinking about bumping them up to 3. I play 2 Fuma. You know, basic. 1 Squire. Now, people say not to run him because he's bad if you draw into him. I don't care. First, it's the risk of getting Natura Beast over your hand breaking. I make Natura Beast more times than I break my hand with this card, you know. And honestly, I'm gonna be truthful with all the duelists out there. It's all in how you shuffle.
Okay, so approaching this, it's just another general duelist, not even going at this from a YouTuber perspective. When you specify how you shuffle, that I'm not saying that is cheating, but I will specify that some people could construe it that way, and if you do this in a competitive background, you're probably gonna have somebody go ahead and call out a judge. And if it happens enough, that can get you kicked from a tournament, even from locals, if it's prevalent enough. So be careful about that, guys. I'm sure that it's probably not meant as a reference towards cheating, because Tribel seems like a really straightforward guy as far as, you know, trying to be just a good competitive and casual duelist across the board. But just be careful about that, guys, because the shuffling, depending on how it's done, some people can be a little bit testy with it. In addition to that, referring to the Sheehan Squire, I do agree that it's cool to break away from the meta, absolutely, because that's what Break Duelist is all about. However, as much as it can get you into your Nat Beast, there's much better cards that you can play, such as Fuma being a level 1 to go into it, and it's still a tuner, and once it's engraved, you get the banish effect to go ahead and save your other 6 samurais. So I would consider dropping the one Shan Squire, but it's entirely up to you, man. Like, Uh, Personally, I feel like that it's a better trade-off to be able to use the material as resource in your graveyard to be able to banish and save something. Plus, it's another 6 Sam name, not a Shien, so it's a searchable card if you use Fuma, as opposed to Shien, which is not searchable. Just something to think about.
And of course, what makes the deck broken, because Isolde is a card now, is the Bamboo card engine. 1 broken, 3 golden, and 3 cursed.
Wonderful engine to be running, extra draws, no complaints. Another gold star, man.
Then I play Monster Reborn,
The one and only.
of course. Soul Charge, of course. Gateway, of course.
Give us it at 3.
I play 2 dojos. You know, can't find room for the third, but that's okay. 3 United. So in that case, I run basically 6 Pot of Greeds in this deck. 2 Asceticisms. And 4 Rhodas. And I believe that Shien Smoke Signal is Rhoda. It's kind of like if you open up with a Shien Smoke Signal and a red, you can get your blue. Or if you got red and blue and you open up with a Shien Smoke Signal, you can get Kageki and pop all kinds of shit off. So I'm...
Alright, so jumping into that a little bit further, the language wasn't necessary. Just keep that for future references. That can get you demonetized when you go further on as becoming a YouTuber. But more than just that, the Shien Smoke Signal is good to get out your 3s for sure, or to at least get them to your hand. But you still gotta summon them, and if you only have your red and you don't got your blue and you still need to search it out, you're kind of stuck off that combo. And the same is true and vice versa. If you got your blue and you don't got your red, and you still got to search it out, that breaks your hand a little bit. I'm not sure as to why you would only play 1 of each. If you're going to do that, it's better to play the 2 ofs. That way you see them more often, and that combo is going to be more relevant and prevalent. But just a little bit of criticism there. Nothing meant to say that you're wrong for playing what you play.
I'm just saying, you run a lot of level 3 cards anyway, so it's basically like running 4 Rhodas. Plus, if you weren't counting, I run 15 monsters, so, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that's just, you get to pick. And then, okay, I've seen a lot of decks that have a lot more speed to it because they run an upstart, extra equip spell cards, and just no. Pendulums, True Draco is still a thing, so, you gotta slow down, you gotta slow them down, and you gotta play a little bit slower. There's no use in running Exodia, the ultimate Forbidden One, and making 6 Sarausas. There's just no point. 1 Sarauja, Nat Beast, and a Shien I'm happy with. Sarauja and Nat Beast I'm happy with, so...
Okay, so in response to that, this is true if they're able to go ahead and pop your equip spells, or if they're able to stop your upstart. Your upstart's just to get you an extra draw, so why complain about having draw power? I'm not 100% sure where that's at. Addressing the other part, being the equip spells that you can play to power up your 6 Sams. Yes, most equip spells don't protect themselves. However, you do have Fusion Blade Hatsume, or is it Matsume, which is unaffected by spells and traps while equipped to a monster. So complaints here are 0, and that being the case, you could play that, and it doesn't affect any other monsters but the monsters equipped to. Gives you the power up, unaffected by spells and traps, plus monster effect, because this is 6 Sams. Just something to think about.
Oh, I'm just saying. Name a lot of people that can get over a first turn Nat Beast. There's not a lot of decks out there that can.
how about we go True King of all calamities, Mermels. You get the, the Abyss Mandir engraved, the Banish 2, get the 2 special summons, get the 9, go into True King of all calamities, change the attribute, and all of a sudden no effects. That gets over Nat Beast. Raigeki, followed up by just a general attacking monster. Not a bad combo. Just saying, I'm not saying it's not a good card. I'm just saying, you want something to back him up.
You got Solemn Judgment,
Solemn Brigade,
Solemn Warning, and Lost Wind. And this is, like I was talking about, first turn Nat Beast, even Go Keys need that one spell card to go off. So, even if they go second, if you draw into a Lost Wind or one of these 3 trap cards, Go Key isn't. If you play them at the right time, they won't go off. It's all on how you play your cards. And then.
Okay, so I will give you the fact that yes, Yu-Gi-Oh is all about how you play your cards. However, the comment made about Go Keys about having Rematch, which is the card being referenced here, needing to be played in order for Go Keys to go off is absolutely not true. There's many cards that can help get your Go Keys to go off, such as Go Key, was it Face Turn? You can go into it and just drop the Octo Stretch to be able to negate the effects, stop something from being destroyed. To have Material Engrave, which gives it its float effect, even though it's being sent from hand, it does specify on the card that it's treated as that it was on the field. So that's not actually 100% true. We'll actually post a Go Key deck profile just to kind of explain that a little bit better in the future. So do feel free to keep your eyes open for that on the Break Duelist channel. But that actually is not 100% accurate. You may want to hit the textbooks just a little bit on Go Keys.
Then, of course, since I don't run a Nishi, a bounce back, I like Storming Mirror Force. I think Quaking Mirror Force is retarded. Okay, now we go.
Because turning face downs that can't be flipped up is bad? Question marks here? Not saying you're wrong, I'm trying to understand the process here. Why is it bad to flip monsters down that can't be flipped up and use their effects, or really be used as anything but tributes? Because you can't link with them. Face downs, you have to be able to target and make sure it meets the requirement. So, why is that bad?
Go into my extra deck.
Finally.
I'll run in 2 Shiens.
The Synchro Shien is blessed. 100%. Stop that spell.
1 Natura Beast. Trishula. And believe it or not, I run Secret Six Samurai Rihan. And this.
Why would you not run Raihan, not Rihan? But why would you not run Raihan? He's absolutely amazing. He's an instant fusion target. If you use instant fusion, just pay the 1,000, you get a free banish once per turn. That's insane. Why wouldn't you run him? At least at 2, at the very least. Plus, it's a 6 Sam deck that targets other Secret 6 Sams and other 6 Samurai monsters. He's also a Secret 6 Samurai monster who protects all other monsters on board, because all Secret 6 Sams carry the banish effect to protect another 6 Sam on board. Why wouldn't you run more than 1? I'm asking you. Please tell me.
This is why. Because of the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. When you flip your monsters face down, you can still contact fuse with your cards face down.
This is actually not true. When monsters are face down, you have to be able to flip them back face up in order to use them for contact fusion, link summoning, synchro summoning, or even XC summoning. any extra deck mechanic, your monsters must be face up on the field in order to go ahead and go into. Because just because you saw them face up at one point during the duel doesn't mean that they're treated that way when they're face down. That's why when monsters are face down, they don't get their effects. It's also why you don't know what level they are, even if they were revealed at some point during the time that they were on the field. They cannot be used as contact fusion materials, even though Raihan specifies 3 monsters with 3 different attributes. How do you know that the monsters flip face down all have different attributes if you don't have them face up, where their attributes, levels, and attack stats and their effects are revealed so that you can verify that you meet the summoning requirement? Raihan is not just 3 Six Samurai monsters that you just pop from the field to get a contact fusion. It's 3 of different attributes. Read your cards.
And you can special summon him, and then, you banish one of your face down 6 samurais, but you can banish one, or you can tribute one of your 6 samurais, and then send his that's how I won that game. I won his 60 card Predator Plant Dinosaur combo, whatever.
Okay, so unfortunately that wouldn't have been a win because of the simple fact is that was a misplay. It's understandable if it was just like a locals thing, or even if it's just competitive or casual play with friends, but you can't target face downs because you have to know what they are. If they're not flipped face up, you cannot verify or validate what it is that's being sent as the cost for the card's effect. So again, make sure you read your cards. They need to be face up in order to verify, yes, is a 6 Samurai monster being tributed to get the banished effect once per turn by Raihan's effect.
And like I said, I don't run links, but I do run I do run links, but not the links I want. There's Shadow Sheehan,
Play it at 1. Turn
Excalibur,
anyone to 2,000.
Steel Swarm Roach, MX Invoker.
For those of you that don't know the MX Invoker play, it's any 2 level 3s. Go ahead, detach material, special out a Earth attribute, level 4 or lower in defense position, and you can use MX Saber Invoker plus that monster special summon from the deck to go into a Link monster. It's insane. Miss Radiant, or you can go into the Noble Knight, 2 Tails of the Noble Knights Link monster. Vaguely familiar with it because we did do some play testing with it, but we've always found that Miss Radiant is better, just simply because it's just 2 Earth monsters plus it gets a boost. So that's kind of your pick 22 play there, whether or not you choose to run the 2 Tails of the Noble Knights or if you run the Mrs. Radiant. Your call.
Alright, now onto my links. Now, like I said, if I had the links I wanted, it would be the link monsters that I have right now, plus I would run only 1 Saryuja, I would run only 1 Borlo Dragon, and I would run a Link Revo. Oh, and a Firewall Dragon, and a Nightmare Goblin. Actually, all the Nightmares. I would basically cut out all my Exceeds.
So, break the MX Saber Invoker combo, stop the Steel Swarm Roach play, and then in addition to that, you're going to drop one of your Archetype-based Xyz monsters, being your Shadow Sheehan, for the Nightmare stuff. I mean, yeah, being able to draw and blow stuff up for free is fun, but they're non-targetable. So why play it? I'm a little confused as to why you would flood all that out just for a couple of extra draws. Like, draw power is win power, yes, but being able to have draw power plus being able to stick with your archetype and have targetable monsters, probably worth keeping. Just maybe swap out a couple of cards here and there, but I wouldn't drop major combo pieces that extend your plays.
Well, anyway, I would drop two. I would drop Uncode Talker and Binary Sorceress. So,
quick question, what is Uncode Talker? Because I know we have Xcode Talker, we have Encode Talker, and we have Xcode Talker. So, what is Uncode Talker? Please know the names of the cards.
Decode Talker, Trigate Wizard. If you're good at geometry, this card is fucking broken.
But do you want to put a warning out there? Please watch the language. Just trying to help you out, man. And Trigate Wizard, yes, is a wonderful card, but what does it have to do with geometry exactly?
Two Soles, like the baddest bitch on the planet. You know, this is definitely the Bella twins of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm gonna start doing
okay?
curse counters.
Got Binary
Ding, ding,
Sorceress and Underclock Talker or whatever.
Taker.
Alright, well that is my Six Samurai deck profile. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below.
And we will. We appreciate you joining us, man.
Hello.
Now, without further ado, guys, this is the Break Duelist. We appreciate you going in and joining us for this response video to Mr. Tribal or Tribal Corpse Six Samurai deck profile video. We will be doing more collabs in the future with not only Tribal but other YouTubers out there. Feel free to go ahead and put in the comment section below what you guys think about the positive and negative feedback, as well as Mr. Tribal's deck profile. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe and look to his channel as well. You know, we're all here playing a competitive and casual game for fun, and it's all about being a fun duelist that is a good person to be around, as well as just somebody to be able to chill with here and there, and just playing with the heart of the cards and having a good game to enjoy for all of us. I do want to go ahead and throw a couple of last little tidbits out there before we go ahead and end this break video, which is that I do think that Tribal definitely had a lot of cool ideas, being able to play the double Grandmaster, to have an extra material on board for link summoning is just insane. Like, it's cool to see somebody breaking away from the meta off that. And without having, you know, more and more text that people test out or change up to break away from the meta, there's no way to really have a lot of positive progressive growth for Yu-Gi-Oh! With that being said, this is Reese Wilston, the Break Duelist, signing out. Thank you, and we'll see you guys in the next break.